Is men wearing shorts around their mothers a bad thing? Because I don't really feel that way, but apparently the poster in our first story does. G'day there guys, it's your main man Markee, and welcome back to another episode of r/AmITheA. Now, if you love today's bloody good content, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn to the barbie, and get ready for some bloody good stories. Let's go. Am I the asshole for telling my husband I wasn't feeling comfortable with him wearing shorts around his mum? So me, female 26, and my husband, male 29, have been married for a few months. His family lives in another town hours away. His mother came to stay with us for a few days after a conflict between her and her husband. Here's the thing. Unlike my in-laws, my family is very conservative. I grew up in a conservative household, and I see stuff at other people's houses that can make me feel uncomfortable. I do my best to be open-minded, but because of my upbringing, old habits sort of die hard. My in-laws are the opposite. They are very open-minded. My husband is very close to his mother specifically. The issue began when my husband and I were sleeping at 7 a.m. when his mum knocked on the door wanting to help with something. My husband got out of bed and went to meet her downstairs. I was half asleep, but then I was already awake when he came back into the bedroom. He started talking about an issue with the oven while Mum was trying to make us breakfast. I wasn't paying much attention to what he was saying because I kept wondering how he was able to go outside the bedroom and meet his mum while wearing shorts. I pointed that out and it somehow made him upset, asking if I was serious. I told him I just didn't feel comfortable with him wearing shorts around his mum, and he lashed out, saying it wasn't a big deal and found it strange to be uncomfortable with him wearing shorts around his mum, since that's his mum. I shrugged and said I can't help but feel this way, and suggested he wear pants or jeans since all of them are accessible and take him no time to put on. He lashed out, calling me ridiculous and to stop acting as if it was a big deal. We argued back and forth, and then he got extremely upset with me, even though I only asked him to not do that again. He said he didn't appreciate what I said, and said, "It's my house, I can wear what I want to." Then went downstairs and had breakfast with his mom without even asking to join them. I felt bad because I might have handled this conversation poorly, but I think he refused to listen to what I had to say and just acted dismissively towards my feelings. I do think you're the asshole because you told him that you feel like he did something wrong even though he wasn't aware that that was an issue. Yes, it in fact isn't an issue. He can wear shorts if he wants to. Why are you overly sexualizing the situation? That seems like a you problem. That is not a him problem. That's not an anyone but yourself kind of problem. So yeah, you're the asshole. Now in the comments, On a Blanket with My Baby says, "You're the asshole. You don't get to police his clothing. I get that you were raised conservatively, but it's honestly weird that you were sexualizing his relationship with his mother. Seriously, you're the asshole." At first I thought she was referring to him going down in his boxers as shorts, but then I read that she wants him to wear pants/jeans. Lamau? Crazy. Is he also not allowed to wear shorts at a family barbecue in the peak of a hot season? And right? That goes way beyond being conservative to some sort of weird cult-like thinking. Sounds like something the Taliban would try to enforce, but for men instead of women. You're the asshole so much. Why do you reach straight for the Taliban when there's a metric F-ton of domestic religious extremists who do the exact same thing? Probably because the Taliban are in the news right now. Oh, the Taliban? So hot right now. Like OP's husband's shorts. Singing Stream says, what did I even just read? My son wanders around in shorts first thing in the morning. That's what a normal son does around his mother. Are you seriously suggesting that there's something wrong with wearing shorts around your own mother? Even if he was bare-ass naked, so what? That's her son. I'm disturbed that you would 1. Think that it was weird that your husband was wearing shorts around his mother, and 2. That you think you can order him to do something and he should comply. You are his wife, not his ruler. You do not get to order him to do anything, ever. You're the asshole. Our next post is by user Boohoo for You, titled, Am I the asshole for refusing to sell my flat to the highest bidder? So my 31 female, fiancé, 31 male and I are in the process of selling our respective flats in order to purchase a house together. We've been together for a long time, but always worked in different cities, so it made sense to keep our separate places. But he's now got a job in my city, so we're buying a place together. His flat sold very quickly. I'm still in the process of selling mine. So I put my flat on the market, and luckily it's had a fair amount of interest. Pretty early on, an investor buyer, so someone who already owns multiple properties and intended to buy the flat in order to rent it out for profit, submitted an offer $10,000 less than it's worth, probably hoping to capitalize on someone so desperate to move that they'd sell it for cheap. Obviously, I rejected this offer. And a couple of weeks later, a lovely father and his disabled son, who were looking for an accessible, ground-floor flat like mine to move into to help his son gain more independence, viewed the property multiple times, and then put in an offer of exactly what I wanted for it. I only met them briefly, but they seemed like nice people. As I don't agree with landlords on principle, I was thrilled to be able to sell the flat I loved so much to people that deserved it. They made an offer on Friday, so I was waiting until Monday to formally accept it, when, over the weekend, the investor buyer that had lowballed me previously came out of the woodwork and offered me $2,500 more than the man and his son. So here's where my fiancé and I disagree. He thinks I should just take the highest offer, as I don't owe anything to the father and the son, so why would I turn down more money? He also believes that because we're going to be buying a property together, he should have some say on how much money I end up with to put towards it. The thing is, we were never intending to use all the money we made from selling our flats on the next property anyway. Some was always going to be going back into savings, and I said I was happy to take the loss of my savings rather than this. I can see where he's coming from, but I just don't really want to see my lovely little flat go to some greedy investor to make an easy buck on. I don't see it as losing money because I never expected to get more for it than I advertised it for. I just want to do the right thing morally, and I want this guy and his son to have a win rather than just lining the pockets of another landlord. I guess my fiancé wants the best for us, and me denying that could make me the asshole, but I think it should be my decision. Am I the asshole? No, it should be your decision because at the end of the day, it is your property, and even I myself would have made the same decision that you did had I been in your shoes. It's a much more compassionate thing to give it to the father and son with a disability. This is obviously something they spent a lot of time pondering over. They looked at the property multiple times to make sure it was the right fit. This is something that would be a great opportunity for those people. On the flip side, the way you've presented it, it seems like the investor didn't look at it a lot, but that may not be true, I'm not sure. I can see why your husband would be upset, $2,500, it is quite a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, I think compassion is worth more than money any day of the week, in this instance. I'm sure we could all play that game of, where's the limit for this though? 10K, 20, 30K? Is that enough to tip it in the investor's favor in this case? Who knows? But I'm gonna say not the asshole. Now in the comments, Obit says, not the asshole. $2,500 is not gonna make a big difference in what property you and your fiancé can purchase, but that apartment will probably make a big difference for this man and his son. Agree, not the asshole. $2,500 is a relatively small price when you can look back in 20 years and remember how you really helped out someone who needed it. They may even pass it forward. I doubt the greedy landlord would do the same. To take it a step further, 2.5K over market value isn't any great shakes when you're planning on renting it out and maintaining a passive income stream forever. So in that sense, this dude is still trying to lowball. Yeah, if it was 20K over, this would be a different conversation. Heck, I don't know if OP likes her neighbors. I really like mine. I would probably take a pretty big hit to the selling price of my home to sell to people who would occupy and take care of it, instead of people who will try to treat it as an investment, which, where I live, often involves poor maintenance and filling each room with a recent college grad renter. Outrageous Relief 77 says, not the asshole. Imagine decency trumping a couple extra $1,000. You rock. It's not even enough money to consider going over to the dark side. Definitely not the asshole. Your fiancé is the asshole. Yes, this. It's your property to sell, and he's guilting you to accept 2.5k more to sell to a buyer you don't agree with? Not cool. Yeah, he definitely has a say over the new property you share, but you didn't tell him who to sell to since this property that you own is for you to decide. And make a note of this for the future. When you divorce, he's going to hardball you on shared pensions, savings, time spent raising kids, gender disparity and income. For now though, you are not the asshole, but your fiancé is. Our next post is by user Lazy Fiancé, titled, "Am I the asshole for calling my fiancé lazy for wanting to be a stay-at-home wife? I'm 42 male, engaged to who I feel is the one, 33 female. We had been dating for just over 3 years and I proposed last month. Last night, after another session of wedding planning, my fiancé asked if I would be alright with her being a stay-at-home wife. At first I laughed because I thought she was joking, but she was being very serious. She told me not to laugh and said she wants to be a stay-at-home wife. I asked her why, as we both make pretty good money at our jobs, and we can't afford our current lifestyle with just one income. She says it's because I make a lot more, which is true. I make about 40% more than her, and we could scale back our lifestyle, and she said it's been on my mind a lot. I think working 9 to 5 just isn't for me. I asked her if she was being serious, and she confirmed that she is. I said that I'm not comfortable with that idea, and said maybe if we have kids, she could be a stay-at-home mom, but I'm not cool with her being a stay-at-home wife. And she says that I was being manipulative, since we're both child-free. But I said that as a hypothetical, since I'm not at all okay with being the sole breadwinner. That divulged into a pretty heated argument, with her saying that I should support her dreams. She never stated what she wants to do with her staying at home, even though I did ask. So this is where I might be the asshole. In the heat of the moment, I said, "Where is this coming from? Why is it your dream to be a stay-at-home wife? Is it your dream to be lazy?" And she got really upset at that, and had gone to her mother's and said, "We'll talk more when you calm down." I'll be real here. I don't want her to be a stay-at-home wife. I'm not okay with being the sole breadwinner, and I do not wish to support this dream. I want a partner in life, not a dependent doing nothing productive with their days. Am I the asshole? So she wants to stay at home all day, not working on anything else besides staying at home all day? She just doesn't want to earn an income? That's really weird to me. I'm gonna have to go with not the asshole for you denying this request. If she never brought this up before and she's just bringing this up now, that's really odd. And it's okay for you to push back against that, so not the asshole. Now in the comments, Claw says, "Not the asshole. So she waits until you propose and she thinks she has you wrapped around her finger to tell you her dream of being lazy, and then has the nerve to say that you're the manipulative one. Jesus." That's a very good point. Up until I proposed to her, she was filled with so much ambition, which is one of the reasons I fell in love in the first place. It just feels like it came out of left field, her sudden desire not to work. Oh man, I genuinely feel bad for you. I'm wondering, what are her friends' jobs? Like, does she surround herself with people that might have the same mindset when it comes to not working? And OP replies, "All her friends and our mutual friends are all pretty ambitious people. Even the stay-at-home mums are pretty driven in terms of child rearing. This is very simple. Are you prepared to lower your standard of living solely to support her financially? Are you prepared to grind 5 days a week for the next 20 plus years at a job, while she does whatever she wants to do? Personally, I'd say when you asked her what her dreams are and she dodged the question, she told you everything you needed to know. Good point here for OP to consider. If she quits her job, whose standard of living is going to decrease? Who will be making the sacrifices to get by on one income? Because I bet it's not going to be her. Exactly. And since she's already accusing him of being manipulative, I can just see her trying to claim that he's being financially abusive if things don't go her way when it comes to what their money is spent on. and telling the guy she cheats on him with that her husband is cheap and doesn't take care of her. She will 100% cheat on this guy. Happened to a guy I worked with. The woman kept spending more and more and cried and cheated when he'd tell her they can't afford whatever she kept spending on. Future husband here needs to run. And Witchwood says, if it's that sudden, it may be a mental health issue or burnout. There are tons of jobs out there with unusual schedules, or she could freelance from home. Obviously, I have no clue what field she's in or how feasible that is. I think you guys should probably talk this over in more detail. If you want to work it out, you'll need to apologize to her first, regardless of how you actually feel. If she doesn't want to work, there has to be something she'd rather do with her time, even if it's watching TV, reading books, or staring out the window for 8 hours. I would probably be upset with that too, but there's a reason she feels that way, and you should find out what it is. Our next post is by user ThrowRAMum567, titled, Am I the asshole for telling mum no apology, no wedding invitation after seeing the wedding gift that she gave my fiancé? So I'm getting married to my fiancé Kevin next month. My family love Kevin, and Kevin loves them. However, my mum is the brutally honest type, who constantly dishes out her opinions and thoughts on what people wear, how they look, and how well off they are. Mostly negative, tasteless, backhanded comments. She says she can't help it, and that no one should be offended when she's just being honest. When she met Kevin, she kept making comments about him, his car, his degree, etc. With time and strict conversations, I was able to get her to show some respect. But she kept annoying Kevin by constantly talking about his hairless face. His face is clean, he doesn't have a beard or moustache, which he can be very insecure about. He comes from Irish origins, so he's white, and has no facial hair, while I'm Hispanic. Mum made jokes with her husband about how unmanly it is to not be able to grow a beard or a moustache. Those comments hurt Kevin so much. I had a very, very stern conversation with her, and she said, "Oh, I didn't realize those remarks were offending him. I was just teasing him." Or, "You know me, I'm just giving my humble, honest opinion, so he shouldn't take it personally and should learn that this is how I am." She ended up sincerely apologizing to Kevin, and we left it at that. Now, as the wedding is approaching, Mum decided to give Kevin a wedding gift, and also to let him know how sorry she was for her past behavior. She invited the whole family for dinner, and decided it was the perfect time to hand Kevin his wedding gift. He thanked her, but she insisted that he open it right there and then and show everyone what she got him, since she knew him that well already. He opened the box and found a set of shaving tools with shaving cream. Kevin stopped for a second and kept staring at the gift. My stepdad took it and showed everyone, and then Mum and others started laughing while stepdad kept saying, "You get the joke, don't you, Kev? You get it, right?" And my brother running around the table laughing with everyone. Kevin got up and walked out. I was so mad I lost it on my mum, asking why she did that and humiliated Kevin in front of everyone. She told me to relax. She was just messing with him, but I said how she knew how he felt about this topic and demanded she apologize. But she said no, since she wasn't responsible for his reaction and thought he was going to laugh along. I angrily said, "No apology, no wedding invitation, period." And then I walked out. She freaked out, calling, trying to say we overreacted to a joke, and my brother said I was crazy to exclude my mum from my wedding over something so stupid. He said Kevin should get over it since it was a joke, but I refused to send an invitation and withheld it until or unless she apologizes. They think I'm unreasonable choosing this to be my hill to die on, and called me disrespectful for how I treated my mum. I'd also like to point out that my brother and stepdad and uncle sometimes take part in teasing Kevin. My brother, who is 31 years old, would sometimes either brag about his goatee mustache in front of Kevin, or tell an indirect silly joke about this topic, which would irritate Kevin, and just spoil any family gathering that we have. But Mum is the one who started this whole campaign, and I've already had conversations with her about it. Kevin is American but has Irish origins. Now in the comments, Demi Roche says, not the asshole. Tell your brother, mother, etc. that the whole wedding was rescheduled and at another venue. When they complained that they missed your wedding, just say, it's just a joke. You should get over it. I was just messing with you. This person has the right idea. I like this thought. We need more suggestions for revenge. It's a moral imperative that Opie and Tubby pay back this oh-so-funny prank. Please everyone, more ideas like this. If only Kevin had it queued up. Sorry, Mum, but I don't grow much facial hair. With the state of your upper lip recently, maybe you should keep this. But do it at the wedding. Hubby can stand up to make a speech. A toast to my new mother-in-law. You were once kind enough to gift me with this shaving kit. Today I wanted to return it to you. You need this far more than I do. Cue overhead projector. Large, very unflattering pic of mother-in-law appears behind the podium, maybe with a photoshopped mustache and such. And scene. Revenge achieved. Not the arsehole. Brutally honest is a lie that people tell themselves when they're looking for an excuse to be brutal. And being deliberately brutal is always arsehole-ish. Same thing with it's a joke when people do something deliberately cruel and then claim joke to excuse their cruelty. This is behavior that someone ought to be guided past by kindergarten. If there is a difficult truth to be said, there is a kind and tactful way to say it. If it is a joke, it should bring delight and surprise, not pain. Anyway guys, I think that's where I'm going to end today's video. If you did like it, tell me what you thought about it down in the comments below, and make sure to just interact with everyone in this community. I love each and every one of you that I get to see on a daily basis. And don't forget, if you are a Patreon subscriber, I love you. You're on the screen right now with the YouTube members as well. If you see yourself, give yourself a pat on the back. You guys help me continue this YouTube journey. You keep me going. I see you guys everywhere. I see your messages, and thank you so much for supporting me. I really love every single one of you. But with that all said, I'm going to be signing off now, guys. I hope you have a good day, night, sleep, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.